Diddy's release date delayed following numerous Fort Dix violations. I guess I'm just trying to understand the mentality behind somebody like this and the logic. Like everything is going in your favor. Everything. He's been winning. No other way to say it. He's been winning. You haven't really taken much losses since being convicted of the crimes that he was convicted of. I mean, even in that's a huge win to be convicted of the charges that he was when he was facing the racketeering and the other things, and with all the information that came out during that trial, the extortion, the multiple prostitutes that came forward, all the employees that he had testify against him, all the turmoil of that. You would think you would have some humility and stay out of trouble. But you're getting ad charges and getting more time added to your sentence. And that's what's going on with Diddy. And it just seems like every day is a new story with him. Every day. And I just don't understand the mentality of somebody that, okay, I pretty much essentially beat the case. Essentially. Right? Still a conviction there, but you only serving 50 months when you could have been serving life in prison. God spared you. And then out of that 15 months, you already did 14 months. So you be coming home in less than 2 years. God spared you again. Then you go to request appeal. You want to do an appeal because you want to get out even earlier. And when you request the appeal, instead of having to wait the general 14 to 24 months that most inmates would have to wait to get a hearing, only to be denied in the future anyway, most people, you get your hearing expedited. And they say, you know what? We'll allow you to push it up to next April. In December, you can give your first statement. This is what the courts told them, the appeal court, appellate court. You can give your first statement in December. The federal government will have to reply to that statement in February. And in those statements, you guys argue your case. And then in April, come back, we'll have the hearing and we'll decide for you. It's almost unheard of to get an appeal pushed up that far. Like, bro, you was just convicted in October or just sentenced in October. And you've only done a little over a year in jail. And then you get an appeal 5 months later, 6 months later. It's crazy. So that's going in your favor. Not only that, you've been allowed to pick the prison that you want to go to. You wanted to go to a low security prison. You asked the judge said, no, we're going to let the Bureau of Prisons decide. And the BOP said, you know what? Let them go to the low security facility in New Jersey, Fort Dix, DIX. That's where he want to be. Let him go there. Another win. God spared you again. Then while you behind the walls, you meet with Sebastian Telfair, former NBA player. And it's all smiles and it's all love. You ain't having no problems, according to reports, behind the walls. Seem like you got some people in there that know who you are. Obviously, you Diddy, so everybody. You have some other celebrities and other people that millionaires, right? Where you're not gonna have the same pressure on you as if you were the only guy there that's ever been rich. And so that takes a little pressure off. Like every step of the way you've won. Why not just sit in those wins and chill? And then the latest report, the latest win that he had was saying that he was going to get a year knocked off his sentence because he got accepted into the RDAP program. And the report says Sean Diddy Combs is in a rehab behind bars, which could reduce his sentence by 1 year. I mean, that's a win. Another year knocked off. So instead of May 2028, it's May 2027. So you just got to sit there for 2026 and then you come home. That's a win. And it said that Mr. Combs is an active participant in the residential drug abuse program, the RDAP, and has taken his rehabilitation process seriously from the start. He's fully engaged in his work, focus, and growth, and committed to positive change. Even getting approved and getting in that program is a blessing. That's God sparing you again. They said he works in the chapel library, which is crazy. Did he working in the chapel library? But whatever. Where he describes the environment as warm, respectful, and rewarding. There was another report that came out that said that when Diddy had a little issue in jail and somebody pulled a knife on him, a dude got in between it and said, chill, and protected Diddy a little bit. So God has been sparing you every step of the way. How long do you think you're just going to continue to mock God? Scripture says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. And I think just as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, as somebody that coaches other business people and helps other business people, I just don't understand the mentality. It's not a good business decision to constantly be in headlines for this stuff, marketing wise, and just take that side of it out. You still got to come home and do your supervised release. You still on papers for 5 years. You're gonna be on parole for 5 years, essentially. All this stuff, you might as well start getting your mind right to come home and do right. And it just doesn't seem like that's his focus right now. So the article says Diddy's prison release date delayed following numerous Fort Dix violations. So it says Diddy is in a bit of trouble following a couple of serious violations inside the prison that he's sitting in. He said his sentence has currently been affected. He's currently serving up at his prison sentence at Fort Dix. This was actually by design, as upon his sentencing, the music mogul asked to be transferred to the prison, specifically this one. His wish was granted, although he is already facing some major issues thanks to numerous violations of the prison rules. Firstly, Diddy allegedly got caught sneaking alcohol onto the premises. Come on, bro. I don't know if it's through a visit. We'll see, I guess. But you sneaking alcohol onto the premises, like, come on, dog. You shouldn't be doing none of that. You did it. You could literally have somebody do all that for you if it's really that serious. To get caught for it is crazy. To do it is crazy, but to get caught for it is even crazier. Sneaking alcohol onto the premises while he and his lawyers deny this ever happened, the prison is adamant that it did happen. Subsequently, the artist was accused of taking a three-way call, which is actually banned. A three-way call is basically, hey, bro, use your PIN number, you get on the phone, and you call somebody and have somebody call somebody, you know. And obviously for somebody like Diddy, that's banned because he got a bunch of lawsuits that he's facing. He could be intimidating witnesses. He could be doing a lot of different things. And it's just banned in general because you got to use your PIN number. They gave you a PIN number to call. They want to monitor your calls. They want to record what you're saying, what's being said to you. And you can't have that. That's how the prisons are. And so he got caught doing another three-way call, which is something he got caught for during his trial. And the judge said that, they had to deny his bail because he was still out there using other inmates' PIN codes to call witnesses. And that was one of the reasons that he got his bail denied when he was going through trial. So doing more three-way calls. And it says, amid these allegations, the mogul has entered a treatment program within the prison, which I just told you guys about, and taken some jobs. However, these infractions are beginning to add up and are going to affect his prison sentence in a negative way. The more problems that you have, the more trouble you get into while you're in jail, the more points you get. And then it does affect you. You can get moved to a different facility. You can get transferred out of there. I saw that they were going to transfer his cell to even lower housing block. And because he got caught, according to the reports at least, because he got caught with some contraband or something like that, he had to stay in the block that he was in. According to People magazine, the mogul is no longer going to be released from the prison May 8, 2028. Instead, he's going to have to wait a bit longer before he can come home. So if he doesn't get his appeal, I think he's in there and he's comfortable. I think you done got in there, you didn't realize, okay, this is a little easier than I thought it was going to be. And you get comfortable and you let your hair down a little bit and you realize like, all right, well, if I got to sit here, I'm going to just chill. And they say now his release date is June 4th, 2028 instead of May 8th. But his violations are starting to add up to the point that is getting you more time and more time and more time. So now if you get in a fist fight, another 3 months. Now if you anything, now everything is going to be added time. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it, man. On some level, you're going to deal with whatever goes on in prison. And sometimes you can't help it. And some people in jail, they can't really help getting in trouble because of the circumstances. So you just expect I'm going to get a little more time here and there. But I think this dude can help it. And we see his mugshot. You guys can see that's his mugshot right there. And the article says His new release date is June 4th, 2028. This means he's going to have to wait exactly 4 more weeks. This will surely come as a disappointment to Diddy and his family, who likely got married to the idea of him coming home on May 8th. I don't think they that disappointed. I think Diddy know what he's doing and he ain't tripping. I think he genuinely believes he's going to get that appeal and he's going home. So he like, I'm going to do whatever. I'm chilling. He's comfortable. And it's playing out that way. Says perhaps the date can be moved back up with good behavior and a commitment to the aforementioned rehabilitation program. If he cannot get himself together, then there's a chance that this date could get pushed back even further. And then they start talking about if it's a potential that Donald Trump could pardon him. I don't think Trump is going to pardon him, especially after Trump had an incident where somebody he pardoned went back to jail recently for some way worse crime. So I don't think Trump is making no pardons for Diddy right now. The whole reason that you would want an appeal right now, if you're Diddy, is not because you're doing so much time that you don't want to sit in prison. It's really you will want to get that appeal so you don't have to do the 5 years of supervision once you get out. You don't want to have to pee in a cup for 5 years. You don't want to have to check in for 5 years with nobody. And so this is hurting him. This is hurting his appeal process. And like I said, man, it's something every day with this dude. And if he don't learn to stay out of trouble, man, it's going to continue to get worse for him because God is not mocked. And he playing games when, bro, once you're in that system, it's really hard to get out of that system. It's hard to get out of the system. So we'll see, man. It don't seem like he learned nothing. It don't seem like he's learning his lesson. It seemed like he trying to party while in jail, and sad, man. Sad. Such a waste of potential. Such a waste of God's blessings and such a waste of blessings in general and opportunity. Just a waste, man.